This is Elon Musk addressing all of us Tesla shareholders this morning. Pay attention because this is going to be one of the most important things that you need to see and watch and understand as a Tesla shareholder. So Elon Musk just posted a letter from Tesla board chair Robin Denholm. While this letter is not coming directly from Elon Musk, let's not kid ourselves. Everything that Elon Musk wanted to be said directly to the shareholders is in this letter. So this is basically a letter directly from Elon Musk. I don't think it would be a very good look for Elon Musk to say this directly to us shareholders. So this is why he's using this proxy to give us this message. And the Tesla board and the Tesla team is calling this letter critical. The fundamental question for shareholders at this year's annual meeting is simple. Do you want to retain Elon as Tesla's CEO and motivate him to drive Tesla to become the leading provider of autonomous solutions and the most valuable company in the world, which I believe is going to happen. Tesla stock is not going to just double, it's going to a lot more higher valuations than that. Kathleen and I engaged in a rigorous 7-month special committee process resulting in a highly customized performance plan that aligns shareholder value and measurable business outcomes with the interests of our CEO. This is good for all of us, Elon Musk and us Tesla shareholders. Our goal was twofold. Number one, retain and incentivize Elon to capitalize on the unique opportunities that lie ahead for Tesla. And number two, do so in a manner that promotes the development of products and services that will propel our world toward a cleaner, safer, and more prosperous future while creating unparalleled value for our shareholders. And the keyword here is indeed unparalleled. I believe if we retain Elon, which I'm sure we will, as this vote is going to pass, but it is only going to pass if we all vote. So it's important to vote. People ask me, is Tesla today still a good investment? And I say right now, I believe actually if you invest in Tesla today, generally you are taking less risk, but still so much potential is left in the company. I think you're taking less risk basically than if you invested in Tesla stock, let's say in 2017, because Tesla has so much cash and Elon, I believe, is going to stay as this vote is going to pass. But back then, there were questions still floating around. Is Tesla going to go bankrupt? Is Tesla ever going to make a lot of money, profit, ever? We have no such questions anymore. Robin continues here. We have done this by challenging Elon with the potential to secure what he values most. Meaningful voting influence, and pay attention to this because this is basically Elon's words. I don't believe this is actually directly even from Robin, although it sort of is, but she's basically quoting Elon from her private conversations is what I believe is happening here. Meaningful voting influence conditioned on his commitment to continue leading Tesla for at least another 7.5 years while successfully driving our company to ambitious new heights. The bottom line is simple. Elon is rewarded only if and when he delivers extraordinary performance that benefits all Tesla shareholders. Now, the bears are challenging this. Well, technically, if he doesn't really do anything and Tesla stock just magically goes to $2 trillion without, him doing anything, then he gets paid a little bit of money, a few $billion for doing nothing, which is actually not nothing because Elon would have to stay for that even to happen, for Tesla stock to not drop like a rock. If Tesla, all it does just delivers 20 million vehicles eventually, but doesn't achieve anything else. So these critics, they're not thinking, because Elon does need to stay and does need to do a lot of stuff for him actually to maintain the valuation. If the market suddenly realizes, oh, you know what, Elon is not doing anything and this company is not going anywhere, do you think it is going to be valued at $2 trillion? No. So these critics completely miss a point. Just because, let's say, theoretically it would underperform S&P 500 doesn't mean that just to get to that level, it doesn't take a lot of work. But the problem with the bears is they just fixate on this small possibility of Tesla stock actually not exploding exponentially in the future. They just fixate on, okay, if Tesla just goes to 2 trillion and never goes beyond that, then Elon Musk gets this amount for basically doing nothing. Well, the way I view this, another argument that I can make is, do we want the world's best CEO? Do we want the richest guy who is the most resourceful, who has the best track record literally in the whole world to lead Tesla? Yes! And that is the price to keep him. Robin continues here. When negotiating this performance award, we necessarily consider what Tesla's future without Elon would look like, and we did not believe it was the future that our shareholders deserve. I fully agree with that, and I think this is really words from Elon Musk, but Robin is just making it, she's sugarcoating it a little bit here, which is fine. At a time when companies, both big and small, are competing to be the first to bring groundbreaking AI technologies to market. One of these companies is XAI, and the board did not do a fantastic job of investing in XAI on time. So I'm a little bit upset about that with the Tesla board, but hey, the investment should be happening now. The main thing why I like the board is because they do basically what Elon wants them to do, except that with the XAI investment, they should have done it much sooner when Elon first asked for it. So they are still doing what Elon wants them to do, it's just a little bit late. I guess we are taking an example from Elon Musk, huh? She continues, we could not risk losing the best leader in the industry to put Tesla on top. Now is a pivotal moment for our company to emerge as a leader in AI, and with our exceptional CEO at the helm, we are perfectly positioned to seize it. Absolutely 100% I agree with this. Though it's no question that Elon has other pursuits, he has proven that one of the many things that make him unique in his ability to stretch his capacity beyond normal limits and still remain successful at Tesla. However, if we fail to foster an environment that motivates Elon to achieve great things through an equitable pay-for-performance plan, we run the risk that he gives up his executive position and Tesla may lose his time, talent, and vision, which have been essential to delivering extraordinary shareholder returns. It's not even so much that we would lose Elon, he might actually stay. But if he stays and basically does nothing, but just the absolute bare minimum just to maintain the stock value, while of course it would fluctuate wildly in the short term, because do not underestimate Elon's ability to not care at all about the short-term shareholder value of Tesla stock if it means that he gets to say what he wants to say openly in the public, because that advances his other interests or protects the society in a way that he believes is the right way to do. And you gotta keep in mind that Elon set up Tesla perfectly for only him to be the sole leader of Tesla, at least for now. The way everything's developing, it would be quite difficult for someone else to come in, overtake Tesla, and then push everything forward just as effectively, because a lot of the shareholder value depends on Elon Musk being the CEO. And that's very purposeful by Elon Musk, because he does not want to be kicked out of Tesla unless he chooses to do so. And of course, this also gives him extreme leverage to negotiate with the board and shareholders. So naturally, we agree with everything he wants. And in return, we get insane returns. Without Elon, Tesla could lose significant value. There would be a big loss, if not a material loss. If the stock somehow miraculously doesn't drop, and if somehow it goes up, the loss that we would experience as shareholders, instead of getting, let's say, 10x returns, we might only get maybe like 2x. Or 3x. So it's more of an opportunity cost. That's also a possibility. She continues, as our company may no longer be valued for what we aim to become, a transformative force reimagining the fundamental building blocks of mobility, energy, and labor with products such as FSD and Optimus, and working to better humanity in the process. Basically, if someone else comes in, I don't think Tesla would do as well as Apple did, because in the case of Apple, the succession plan, like the way everything was handled, it was set up for that. Steve Jobs knew he was going to not be at Apple anymore, and the whole thing was done in a way that was rather without great extreme difficulty. It was not a sudden thing. I think the time that we could say would be for Elon to, let's say, step down from Tesla is when Tesla solves these fundamental problems that Tesla is still working on. So FSD, even though we can clearly see it is going to be solved, it is going to be solved if Elon stays at Tesla, and definitely faster if Elon stays with Tesla and at Tesla, and we might have some regulatory issues and stuff like that. But if Elon stays at Tesla, these regulatory challenges, I don't think are going to be a problem. You know why? Think about this. Who built a whole factory in an environment where no other company, no human being that's foreign, where the factory was allowed to be owned 100% by that company in China? Tesla is the only one. Elon Musk was the only person that was able to successfully do that. So if you think that some regulatory challenges in the US are going to make more trouble for Tesla than navigating these hurdles in China, I think you are greatly mistaken. Whatever huge issue or problem Tesla is going to have in the future, I am so confident that Elon Musk is going to solve it, because that's what Elon Musk does better than anyone else. He's able to solve an unsolvable crisis where everything seems to be on fire. This is impossible to do, and then he just turns it around, and then here you go. Not only is it solved, it's solved in such a way that no one else would have expected it to work so well. But this happens if we get Elon's attention, full attention, when it matters. And then when we got full self-driving fully solved, we got robot taxis, like the framework is set up, we just need to scale, then that would be not a bad time to have someone, let's say, step up and replace Elon as the CEO, but not before then. So right now we could have someone come in and then scale the electric vehicle business and probably the mega pack business. But the FSD business, I'm not so sure about that. And the Optimus business, I would just completely assume that is going to be worth zero if you have anyone else other than Elon Musk leading Tesla. But with Elon Musk as the CEO of Tesla and him having so much upside potential and reward that is inevitable as long as Elon delivers on all of these milestones, his motivation is going to be high and we will have his attention and focus on Tesla in the long term. So I believe he will actually try fully to solve the Tesla bot problem. And if he does that, Tesla is going to be the most valuable company in the world. I don't know if scaling fully FSD is going to take Tesla to being the most valuable company in the world, because by then there might be more valuable companies than we have right now. But the bot, I have no doubt that would definitely do it. While there may be nothing wrong with being just another car company, our board believes that Tesla can be more, that our shareholders deserve more, and that Elon is the right leader to help us achieve our full potential. Absolutely, 100%. Elon's leadership is also built upon the critical support of our tailor-made governance structure, including our carefully constructed board, which basically does everything that Elon wants to do. But as we have seen lately, good governance should be customized to the company, which in this case means do what Elon wants us to do, not applied with a cookie-cutter approach, and it is exemplified by the results that Tesla has delivered and this board has overseen. We therefore ask you to vote for the 3 members of the board, Ira, Kathleen, and Joe. And remember, Elon, this is basically coming directly from Elon. So Elon is telling us to vote for all of these people. And they all have worked alongside Elon for years, which means basically they have a somewhat close relationship to Elon. We can argue how close the relationship is, but I read through the core documents transcript. To me, it's a huge plus that the board is so close to Elon. I certainly like this letter from Elon Musk. Let's call it what it is. This is a letter from Elon Musk. And this is a critical moment for us Tesla shareholders and investors. We need to vote for all the things that the board wants us to vote for, because this is exactly what Elon wants. If you vote against, then that basically says, hey, Elon, we don't trust you. We don't want you. Don't lead the company. Just leave. That would be the signal that Elon would get if he voted no. And guess what? He has a lot of upside. He has a lot of ways to make a lot of money and exercise control and power outside of Tesla with, for example, XAI. He could just spend a lot more time over there and make perhaps not exactly as much money with XAI as he would with Tesla, but it would be close if he just put all of the extra attention and effort that he would have to put into Tesla going forward. But instead, he would just do the same thing with XAI, and that then would allow him to basically do everything he wants to do with Mars and spaceships and all of his other goals. I personally don't think that money is the absolutely biggest motivator for Elon Musk, and really to achieve all of his goals with Mars and all of that, it would be really helpful for him to influence governments, and the more money he has, the easier it is to do. And by the way, remember that if Elon doesn't achieve those targets, he gets nothing. Zero. Absolutely nothing. There's no other CEO that would take a deal like this. No one. Also, Tesla chair Robin Denholm on Optimus said this: Optimus can fold laundry. I've actually been in the lab. He can wipe the table down. You can actually shake hands with him. The tactile nature of his hand is actually very good. We are redefining robotics, absolutely, and it's happening in real time right in front of us. Now, this particular robot, I think, is teleoperated, but they are making so much progress so quickly that it is not going to be the thing. If they train these robots, which I'm sure they will be able to do with everything that they are learning from FSD and all of that, Tesla is in the absolutely best position to do it better than any other company out there in the world. And also having the best leader in the world, Elon Musk, who is an expert at AI, manufacturing, not just manufacturing, mass manufacturing. We are in the absolutely best position to do exactly what Elon wants to do and Tesla wants to do with the Optimus. You know what? I think a lot of the flack that I got before about FSD, like, oh, yeah, Matt, you really believe FSD is going to be solved? And like, I'm talking like 3, 4, 5 years ago, when I would say things like, yeah, FSD is going to be solved. Like, do you not see? Like, it's obvious, so obvious to me. People didn't believe me at all. And I think we are going through a very similar thing with the Optimus now. It's becoming apparent, as long as Elon gets his compensation package, which I'm sure he will, the Optimus bot is going to be a big thing for Tesla. And it will be a mistake to underestimate that, but it's not going to be like immediate. It will take some time, just like FSD. You know, it was obvious already years ago, like 5 years ago. Oh, yeah, FSD is going to be solved. Like, it is going to happen. Maybe not next year, but it is going to happen. And we are seeing that happening right now. If you get the latest software on hardware 4, I can't imagine any reasonable person getting in a car like that, driving somewhere in a busy city in Texas for a few hours and coming to conclusion, you know what? Full self-driving is never going to happen. Definitely not this decade. It's like there's no way it's going to happen this decade. It would have to be someone completely who lost their minds to come to a conclusion like that. And my friends, we are going to go through another thing, another phase, another exciting journey of ups and downs where Tesla stock is going to explode in both ways. And it's going to have to do with Optimus. Now, it's coming later. This one is going to take a while, but I am so looking forward to this journey, especially once it's definitely confirmed that Elon Musk is definitely going to get his compensation package and Tesla investing into XAI. We are going to intermingle these interests and companies, and Elon is basically not going to escape from us, the Tesla shareholders, and we will both benefit. We will all benefit. Elon is going to benefit, and we, Tesla shareholders, are also going to benefit widely. I'm so excited. I'm mistaking words now. I meant widely. And then check this out. Tesla brought the Cybercab and Optimus to Times Square, New York today during the Tesla chair Robin Denholm's visit to the NASDAQ MarketSide studio. What do you think it's handling here? What is it holding in the hands? Well, it's actually giving everyone candy. These are candy bags. And I can see here that, oh, it loses one bag, but it tries again and then it picks it up. And Elon really hasn't been exaggerating when he said that he does not want to have no control of this robot army that he is going to build, because right now this robot is peaceful and a little bit slow and a little bit clunky, but it is not going to be long before it becomes more agile and more powerful and more durable and more of everything than any human being. Like, not just any human. You can take the most capable, strongest human being, and the Tesla bot can and will be stronger than that, unless it's designed to be weaker. So while right now the Tesla bot is not threatening at all, when you look at it later, do you think the US military will not want to have its hands on this piece of technology? Of course it will. And that is one reason why Elon Musk wants to retain a decent amount of control of Tesla. He doesn't want this robot army to fall in the hands of some person with totally evil intentions. And look, this is going to sound a little bit bonkers because this is coming from Morgan Stanley. The person that completely missed Tesla's boom, the last 10x. He was like, do not buy the stock. This is going down. Like, I bought Tesla stock for the first time in early 2019, and then Morgan Stanley comes out with this bear case that Tesla stock could actually drop down to something like all the way down to $20. And at that time, keep in mind, this is before the stock split a few times, the stock was trading like around $200-ish or something like that. And then Morgan Stanley was saying that it could drop like 90%. And of course, Morgan Stanley was so wrong that they couldn't be more wrong. But now Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas, the same guy, is predicting that I'm calling it. Autonomous cars are sold. Do I mean 6 or 7 nines to the right of the decimal? No, perfection never, but enough to pull the safety driver at scale in major metros. Something huge, something big, something gigantic just happened here. From our discussions with Tesla, it appears the only thing preventing Tesla from pulling the driver is its own abundance of caution. Now, Tesla being cautious or Elon Musk being too cautious, that's not something that you would normally hear or expect. Our understanding is that there is no other explicit regulatory approval required to pull drivers in Texas. A passive optical-only AV system would seriously challenge the conventional thinking of many in the robotaxi community. Tesla truly believes the radar and LiDAR do not make its cars any safer, and from their data, supposedly it makes the cars basically less safe, because that's why Tesla pulled out the radar from the system. Even the cars that still have radar in Tesla vehicles, these are just turned off. Now, of course, these are not like the newest radars that you can put in cars, but still, they just turn them off. They still keep the cameras on, though. It is our long-standing opinion that if you solve autonomy for cars, you solve autonomy for many other form factors of AI-enabled robotics, aviation, marine, weapons, etc. Absolutely, that's 100% true statement. Tesla will have around 8 million vehicles in the global park by year-end. 12% of its penetration, paying monthly subs at upfront purchasers, implies 1 million active paying users. So they are saying global take rate is 12%. I thought the 12% would be attributed towards only the markets with FSD available to purchase. So that's interesting. Now, they talk directly to Tesla, so maybe they have more data here, but I will still be a little bit more cautious here, and I will still assume that that 12% only includes markets like the US, Canada, where you can actually use FSD today or purchase FSD today. If you were to apply $99 a month subscription fee to all users, including upfront payers for comparative equivalency, implies approximately $300 million of quarterly FSD revenue or $1.2 billion annualized FSD revenue at a year and exit rate. Assuming an 85% margin would imply approximately $1 billion of EBIT, accounting for 15 to 20% of total company EBIT. Highly profitable, highly reoccurring. And guess what, people? This number is only going to go up. People haven't even started driving on V14 in masses yet. But truly, this statement right here from Morgan Stanley, this is narrative changing, this is game changing, this is huge news. Because you know what's going to happen? A lot of people are going to follow Morgan Stanley here. And I think this note is why Tesla stock might be doing what it's doing. It is up. As I'm recording this video, 5.5%, and it keeps going up. So I don't know, this might finish higher. Yeah, the Tesla community agrees. This is bullish, extremely bullish, says the son of Walkley here. This is interesting. Tesla now has 30 Cybercab related jobs postings on its website, all based in Austin, Texas, which is where it will be mass manufactured. Elon Musk said last week that Cybercab production starts in Q2 of next year. Oh, and we will see a lot more of these. Whereas a Tesla stock price increase from 355 to 510. By the way, we now have FSD VE 14.1.4, which is going out to more cars this morning. FSD pulls off quite a nice move. It reversing at a construction zone, so pedestrians could pass. Such human behavior, absolutely impressive. Where are the humans, though? Where are the people who are... Oh, here we go. And look, I know that people make fun of Jim Cramer, but here Jim Cramer is bullish on Elon Musk and supports his compensation package. But the thing is, he had a fund before, and Jim Cramer is something like 70 years old. When I found out how old he was a few years ago, I was like, what? You're 70? You're so, what? I thought you're like 50. The guy looks young for his age. But he also had a very successful fund with returns of something like 20% for about 10 years or so. And the thing is, you don't achieve that for 10 years, unless you're very sharp or extremely lucky. He has to be either the luckiest person on earth or very sharp, and I think he's pretty sharp. However, sometimes he is just disastrously wrong, like he was at first with Tesla when Tesla IPO'd, but admittedly, I also didn't touch Tesla when it first IPO'd. I stayed very far away from Tesla. I only became an investor in Tesla stock in early 2019. I'm a lot more conservative than many people might think. But Jim Cramer here says he's using AI to make the best full self-driving car. He's using it to dominate the robotaxi game. There's no doubt that he's got the best self-driving alternative on a price basis. He thinks there will be relentless demand for the Cybercab. Absolutely. And then Jim Cramer says, I say, even though he didn't start the company and therefore doesn't have the two classes like Mark Zuckerberg, who can do whatever he wants with Meta, give the man the pay package he wants. Unlike so many other CEOs, he's actually worth it. Jim Cramer is recommending that we all agree with the board and vote in favor of board's recommendations. So in this situation, even the mainstream media or the mainstream finance media is saying that what the board is suggesting is the right thing to do, which is not always what you would expect from the mainstream finance media. I mean, the mainstream finance media giving Tesla fair coverage? I'll take that. I'm so used to fighting mainstream media when it comes to Tesla. Any time I see something like this is just so beautiful. Now, on the other hand, Farzad is not so bullish about this Tesla to zero confirmed. It's just a meme. Cramer's actually a sharp guy. It just sometimes he's very wrong, but sometimes he is right. The thing is, he's basically a personality on TV that's supposed to entertain, not so much to inform you. But I'm wondering, what would his returns be today if he was only allowed to pick 3 stocks? I think he would do much better than his current reputation. And look, this is all over the news today. Tesla risks losing CEO Musk if $1 trillion pay package isn't approved, board chair Robin Dunham says. So this is all over the mainstream news. But I really don't like this. Is this is where exactly you can start seeing why I have such a big problem with all of this mainstream media. $1 trillion pay packages. That the way they phrase it is as if it's already approved, and as if Elon Musk is going to get it no matter what. Like a regular person that would just see this headline, that's exactly what they would think if they knew nothing about Tesla and nothing about Elon Musk. And this is why some people hate Elon Musk so much, because they see a headline like this, $1 trillion pay, what? No wonder people hate this guy so much. Some people that know nothing about him or Tesla or are completely misinformed, because all of their opinions are based on what they see from the mainstream media. By the way, do you remember Dan O'Dowd? Even he is now basically saying Tesla full self-driving is level 4. It's in the name. Elon Musk, homers, and YouTubers have their hands off the wheel and feet off the pedals for an hour as FSD drives them through a city. How is that not autonomous? And Elmore agrees with him. I agree, it's a level 4 system that can do entire drives from start to finish without intervention. Now, I think Dan O'Dowd meant this not in a positive way. He's more like, hey, look, you can do this in like Miami or New York or LA or Seattle or any city where it's not really approved for such a thing. Shouldn't this be banned? I think that's the angle that he's going for. But really, what he's doing is he's promoting, at this point, when you make statements like that, you're promoting a physique, like, oh, you can buy a system like that can actually do that. Oh, and Bill, you look at that. What did I say? We will see more Tesla stock price target increases. Here's another one from New Street Research, which raised its Tesla stock price target from 465 to 520. Sawyer did a pretty good post here, and I agree with Steven, but I thought there was a magic catch-up to Tesla button everyone was just waiting to press, which obviously does not exist and never existed, but many assumed it did. And what are we looking at here? The Tesla Model Y was Europe's best-selling car in September, returning to the #1 slot for the first time in 9 months. Now, I have some, I took a DNA test, and it does say that I am of Viking descent, and you can see that because I do have blonde hair. And I was in Sweden when I was in Europe just now recently, and oh boy, don't they hate Elon Musk. And yeah, despite that, Tesla being #1 in Europe, ooh. But now that Elon is less political, and he's not really spending as much time doing anything political, he's not pushing anything directly from the government, I think over time that hate is going to just go down. And we have seen Kamala Harris come out with a statement basically apologizing for things that the previous administration did to Elon Musk. So we are seeing this love for Elon now even coming from the other side, or at least conceding to Elon, because they are starting to realize if you go against Elon Musk, if you make Elon Musk your enemy, oh, it's going to be so bad for you. And think about this, if you absolutely had to pick an enemy, who would you pick? And where would Elon Musk be on that list? He would probably be, and I'm not talking like an enemy as in like who you disagree with, but like if you had to choose an enemy who's like the easiest enemy to beat, where would Elon Musk be? He would be at the very bottom of that list in terms of who you want to pick first. And so Tesla was Europe's top seller of BEVs in September with a volume of 38,000, and Tesla sold in September 65% more BEVs than the second best brand, Volkswagen, which is the actual Nazi brand. Unlike Tesla here, with the standard Model Y now being produced in Giga Berlin and sold in Europe, I expect Tesla to become the best-selling BEV brand in Q4 and the Model Y the best-selling BEV in all of Europe in 2025, says Alex. People do make less money in Europe, and also they do like smaller cars. You have to understand, for us, people living in North America, Canada, and the US, the Model Y feels like it's like on a smaller side. But in Europe, oh, if you've been to Europe, it's like a big vehicle and it's expensive. But now you can get that same vehicle, but it's going to cost less money. So this is great. And if you do have a hardware for, do check your FSD version, because a lot of people are getting the newest version today. Chuck already tested this new version. He drove it for over an hour. I did not feel one scenario of what we were calling brake stabbing. I did feel a pause here and there, but it was appropriate for the scenario and was justified. And to be clear, it was a smooth pause. If the car is going to start acting that smooth, then women might actually start liking it. If I have a guy in my Tesla vehicle and if something weird happens with FSD, they're like, oh, okay, whatever. If it's a woman, like, turn that thing off. But ladies, according to Chuck Cook, this new FSD version is gonna be as smooth as a smooth gentleman would be. Oh, and Sawyer is confirming that actually a lot of people are getting this newest version. So definitely check out your car if you do have a hardware 4 vehicle. And check this out. Tesla has released a new FSD software update every 3.5 days on average over the past 2.5 weeks for a total of 5 updates. And I think Sawyer is right here. I don't think the company has ever released so many FSD updates so quickly. Impressive release cadence. And you know one reason why that's happening is because Elon Musk is focused on Tesla. This is what we're getting when Elon Musk is focused on Tesla. Now, here's what we are hearing from the dirty Tesla account. Seems to be much better with brake stabbing so far. You can still feel and find the hesitation in certain situations, but the car is not rapidly using the brakes as much. So it's definitely an improvement for sure, 100%. Oh, and here Tesla avoided that closed road, and instead it just kept going as a normal person would. What did I say? Smooth gentleman. And here, exactly what a smooth gentleman would do. The Tesla vehicle lets this car go. There you go. Well done. Oh, and Alexandra Mers was asking if she could get this newest version, and Elon Musk directly himself replied, you should get it soon if you have selected advanced software and settings. So as long as you guys selected that option, you're going to get it very, very soon, and perhaps like now. Oh, there was also this video circulating on X and the internet, and people were saying that this vehicle was on FSD. And this was a crazy maneuver that happened. Like literally, if the car would not have turned, then it would have bumped into an airplane. Literally a flying airplane. Not an airplane on the ground, but a flying airplane. Now, it would have been the fault of the pilot, really, but this car actually was not on FSD because the driver confirmed it wasn't. There's also a little bit of debate about hardware 4 and solving FSD on hardware 4. And if you did listen to the previous earnings call, it was interesting how Elon Musk was talking about hardware 4 and hardware 5, and how he said that clearly hardware 5 is going to be so much better because it will have so much more compute power and is going to be better optimized than hardware 4 for specifically FSD because of all the things that they learned about what FSD actually needs. And the way he was talking about it, I think giving the bears some ammunition to say that FSD may not 100% be totally solved as quickly, safer than human driving for countrywide release, unsupervised, in every single corner of the US. But the thing is, when you step into a hardware 4 vehicle with V14 or a robotaxi, it's a little bit hard to believe that a lot more progress is not going to be made with hardware 4. And the thing is, each new hardware version is just going to be fundamentally safer than the previous one. So I don't see much of a point in having this argument because we will always have newer hardware versions. This is just funny. Elon Musk replies to safety concerns regarding Mad Max mode. Like these are mainstream articles. And Elon explains it's not really like Mad Max. That's a joke, guys. By the way, Tesla opened its first store in South Chile. Overall, definitely good news for Tesla stock today. The Morgan Stanley is saying that FSD is basically done, and the stock jumping because of that, I think, largely. The markets, of course, are up as well, but not enough to justify Tesla stock going up 5.5%. But Morgan Stanley before, with their increase in Tesla stock price targets, or when they say something big about Tesla stock, that has repeatedly over and over and over again made Tesla stock jump. So I think that's the main reason driving Tesla stock higher up today. And I personally believe that Tesla stock is going to $1,000 per share, and then after that, well above it. And I will update that price target very soon. And I will post it on my X account. There's going to be a link down below to follow me on X in the description and in the pinned comment. Make sure to do that if you haven't yet. Even if you think that you follow me on X, unless you followed me in the last 30 days or so, double check, because something happened to my previous old account. I received no explanation what happened to it, but it just suspended. And I definitely didn't do anything wrong, but somehow it was just suspended. Maybe it just got flagged accidentally somehow. I don't know. But this is the new account, so go and follow this account if you haven't yet. And I will see you in the next video, probably on Wednesday. Oh, and one more quick thing. I will be experimenting with a lot of short form content. So if you see different kinds of posts from me, also possibly from different channels, don't be surprised if you see me on shorts. I will actually be making a lot of them, like at least 100. I'll be experimenting with various different kinds of content.